And good evening, everybody. Welcome. Time now. Dorado. Kurt Caden with you, and we welcome the Derby Twins into town. And looks like we may have first pitch a little bit before 7 o'clock tonight. Take a look at the starting lineups. The batting order for the Derby Twins. They'll lead off with Michael Urquidy, center fielder. Dalton Dunn bats second. And Brooke Zimmerman, the right fielder, will bat third. Jacob Means bats fourth. Davis Elliott, the DH, batting fifth. Joe Falk will bat sixth. Connor Basler, the shortstop, batting seventh. Jonathan Thibodeau bats eighth. He's the catcher. And Noah Bland will bat ninth. For the El Dorado Broncos out in the field, they will have, let's go to the outfield first. From left to right, it's John Laguerre, Kyle Barfield in center, and Aaron Mack is in right field. Around the infield, the third baseman is Jarrett Coyne. At shortstop, Tyler Bailey. The second baseman is Mason Goad, and at first base is Tanner White. Sam Donnell is the catcher, and pitching tonight is Avery Reedmiller. It is a sunny and a windy day here in El Dorado. Winds coming out of the south around 25 miles per hour right now, and we have a current temperature of 90 degrees. The feels-like temperature is 92. So good old baseball weather here in El Dorado tonight, and we're ready for baseball. First pitch swinging is Urquidy, and he'll pop that one out of play. So quickly, no balls and a strike for Avery Reedmiller. Avery Reedmiller, this is his second start of the season. Give you some more numbers on him in a moment. He swings and misses, does Urquidy, and it's 0-2. For Reedmiller, 8 innings on the season. He's got a 7.8 some ERA. Here's the 0-2, a high chopper out to short. Bailey takes it on a big hop, couple of steps over to first. And that will retire Urquidy. Reedmiller with a record of no wins and 1 loss. 8 innings of work, 7 earned runs, 6 hits, 6 walks, 5 strikeouts for Reedmiller on this young season. Batting second for the Derby Twins, Dalton Dunn, the second baseman. So 1 away here in the top half of the first inning, and the 1-0 pitch, that's in there for strike 1. Coyne over at third, hugging the line a bit. He's a couple of steps off. Tanner White plays a little further off of the first base line. Reedmiller gets ahead 1-2 on Dunn. And the 1-2 pitch, and this one's lifted out into center field. Barfield trots over to his right and will make the catch. So 2 away for the Twins. That'll bring up Brooke Zimmerman. Brooke Zimmerman, the right fielder. And on the season, Zimmerman's been he has been Derby's best hitter. Just 3 games, but a .500 batting average. 8 hits, 16 at-bats. He pops the first pitch high on the infield. Tyler Bailey settles under it. And a very efficient and clean 1-3 top half of the first inning for Avery Reedmiller. So after a half inning, it's Derby 0, El Dorado coming to bat. More play-by-play in a moment. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball here on YouTube. And welcome back here. Kurt Caden with you on this beautiful Tuesday night from El Dorado. Just a hint of clouds. There's some storms off in west central Kansas, but no fears here on this beautiful night for baseball. The batting lineup for the El Dorado Broncos. Jarrett Coyne will lead off. John Laguerre bats second. Kyle Barfield third. Aaron Mack bats fourth. Colton Schenker fifth. Mason Goad will bat sixth. Tanner White seventh. Sam Donnell, the catcher, bats eighth. And Tyler Bailey, the shortstop, will bat ninth. For Derby in the field, let's take a look in the outfield. And the left fielder is Noah Bland. In center field, Michael Urquidy. And in right field, Brooke Zimmerman. Around the infield, Jacob Means at third. Connor Basler is at short. Dalton Dunn at second base. Joe Falk is at first base. Jonathan Thibodeau is the catcher. And starting tonight for the Derby Twins, Zach Birch. His first pitch is low. Ball one. Jarrett Coyne, right-handed batter for the Broncos. And he looks at a high fastball, 2-0. Jarrett Coyne batting .265 on the season, 9 for 34. And the 2-0 pitch, and he laces one into left field. A clean base hit for Jarrett Coyne. So a leadoff single for the Broncos. And here comes John Laguerre. Did not see Laguerre last weekend when Hayesville was here. He joined the team on the 6-game road trip, and all he's done in 6 games is bat .350 for the Broncos. He has scored 7 and driven in 2. He's taken 5 walks already, so he's got a good eye at the plate. Lifts one high into right field, and Zimmerman comes over and makes the catch for the first out. Right field and first base becomes more difficult as the sun goes down here at McDonald Stadium. Zimmerman did not have any issues there. So here comes Kyle Barfield. Kyle Barfield, hometown of College Station, Texas. He goes to Kansas State University, and he's batting .310 on the season. Birch, lefty, on the hill. Coyne with a lead out to the cutout, and the pitch to Barfield is low, ball one. Kyle Barfield batting .310, 13 of 42 on the season. He has scored 9 times, driven in 3. He's got a couple of doubles and a home run on the season for El Dorado. One away in the bottom of the first, no score. And Birch brings it home. Barfield hits it into the gap in left center field, and that will get to the wall. Coyne around second. Some trouble out in the outfield. Coyne rounds third, and he is coming in. Ran through a stop sign. He knew it. He was going to make it, and he did. Kyle Barfield with an RBI double. Coach Toby Reuter was down the line, and he had the stop sign up, but a good read by Coyne. So Kyle Barfield with an RBI double. And that really, once it hit the grass out there, it is a grass outfield and a turf infield, but it took off and it split Bland and Urquidy out there in left and center field. So here's Aaron Mack. Aaron Mack, the right fielder, left-handed batter, 1-0 El Dorado. And he looks at a fastball for strike one. On the season for Aaron Mack, .261 for Mack. Couple of home runs. He leads the team in home runs with 2. And this curveball didn't take, and it hits Mack on the front right leg there. So 2 on and 1 out for El Dorado. That brings up Colton Schenker. Colton Schenker DHing tonight. And he is batting .400 on the season, 8 for 20. 5 walks. He's driven in 3. Got a chance with Barfield out at second base. And he fists one out to second. That hit the turf, so that's out at second and out at first. So that was a tough one. It's not really an infield fly there, and that's where the confusion. Usually a pop fly in the infield would be an infield fly, but that was kind of a humpback liner, and really well done by the second baseman, Dunn. I'm not sure if he was trying to get it on the short hop, but it worked out beautifully for him because he took him right to the base and touched second over to first, and they get a double play. So in the inning for El Dorado, they score 1 run on 2 hits. No errors and 1 left. We're through 1 complete from McDonald Stadium. It's El Dorado 1, Derby 0. More in a moment here on YouTube. So we're ready for the top half of the second inning, and Jacob Means will lead it off for the Derby Twins. And Reed Miller, a little bit high and tight on the first pitch for ball 1. Jacob Means from Indiana State University, hometown of Gardner, Kansas. That's up just south of Kansas City. And 1 ball and 1 strike to Means. Reed Miller working quickly, and he skips one into past Donnell for 2 balls and a strike. We do invite your emails. I see we've got many of you already watching tonight. Our email address, Caden Broadcasting. It's C-A-D-E-N. Caden Broadcasting at gmail.com. Means with a sharp line drive that bounces just in front of Barfield for a base hit. Means stung that one pretty nicely. So here comes Davis Elliott. Davis Elliott from Brentwood, Tennessee, goes to school at North Alabama. Right-handed batter. Modest lead for Means off of first. Reed Miller's pitch, that's in there for strike 1. Some bad news for the El Dorado Broncos. Their other catcher, Tristan Peterson, fouled a ball off his foot, broke his foot during that road trip that took the Broncos to Great Bend and to Dodge City. So Peterson is out probably for the summer. 1 ball and 1 strike. So a ball and a strike. Wind gusting from right to left. Anything out into right center, center field should carry, and certainly out to left field. And here's a ground ball to Coyne. He gobbles it up, bobbles it, able to get it off to second for the out. He smothered it in his chest, but just couldn't get it out, but finally did, and retired Means for the first out. So here comes Joe Falk. Joe Falk from LSU Eunice. He's from Crowley, Louisiana. Joe Falk playing first base tonight for the Twins. Over at first is Elliott. And the pitch from Reed Miller. This one's popped straight up in the air. Who's going to take control? Looks like Jarrett Coyne settling under it. He's got the catch for the second out. So 2 away for the Twins, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Connor Basler. Basler, this is his 7th game of the season, hitting 150 in league play. 20 at-bats, 3 hits. He has walked 6 times. Got a good eye up there. On the go is Elliott, a square round by the batter, Basler. So it will be a strike and a stolen base for Davis Elliott. So no balls and a strike, 2 away. We're in the top half of the second inning. 1-0 El Dorado. Nice to be back with you after 9 days since the last time we spoke. And the 0-1 pitch, that one just sailed out of the strike zone for ball one, and Donnell wants to go talk to Reed Miller. First of a 3-game series between these teams. And those of you that aren't maybe familiar with this part of the country or the state, Derby and El Dorado, not a very far trip. I don't know if I've ever gone straight just from Derby to El Dorado, but 30, 45 minutes maybe. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that one's hit out to short. Bailey with the catch for the Broncos, and that will retire the side. Boy, Basler hit well, but right at Bailey. So no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. El Dorado leads Derby 1-0. More play-by-play in a moment. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball on YouTube. Time for the bottom of the second inning for the El Dorado Broncos. They had a good start in the first, a single, a double, a hit by pitch, but then a 4 unassisted to 3 double play ended the first. Mason Goad will lead off for El Dorado here in the home half of the second inning against Zach Birch, and a swing and a foul tip for strike 1. Birch, the starter for the Twins. This is his 3rd appearance of the year, 2nd start. Strike 2 on Goad as he again just nubs one off the end of the bat. A 1.2 ERA for Birch. My 3rd number is cut off, so I can't give you the exact, but 1 earned run in 7 1/3 innings coming in tonight for Birch. 9 strikeouts in 7 innings. He tried the outside corner, just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 to Mason Goad, the second baseman, and the pitch curveball, and he's out in front and fouled it off. Zach Birch from Cedar Hill, Texas, goes to school at Arkansas Fort Smith. A couple of pitchers from Arkansas Fort Smith on this Derby Twin squad. There's the 1-2, and again outside, 2-2. Goad, White, and Donnell, the scheduled 3 for El Dorado. In the bottom of the second inning, Broncos lead 1-0. And the 2-2 pitch, fastball low, ball 3. So Goad has worked it full. Birch, a long, lanky lefty out there. He winds and deals. The 3-2, that's outside, ball 4. Looked like he lost his balance a bit there. So Mason Goad was down 0-2 on that at bat, and he battled back for a walk. Managers like to call those quality at bats right there. Tanner White stepping up for the Broncos. Tanner White from right here in El Dorado goes to Butler County Community College here in El Dorado. 6'1", 180. And he's a lefty. And he hits one down the third base line. That's a fair ball. That'll go into the corner. Goad around second to third. Goad around third. He will look to score, and he will without a throw. An RBI double for Tanner White as he went the other way and just got it inside the foul line. So the Broncos with a couple of RBI doubles. First inning, Kyle Barfield did it, splitting the left and center fielder, and here White right down the third base line. That thing sliced into the far corner up against the wall of the bullpen and the outfield wall. So Sam Donnell, the catcher, steps up. 2-0 El Dorado. And the pitch just missed. 1 ball and no strikes. Wind has settled a bit, but it keeps picking up in intensity, kind of roller coaster wind, if you will. Tanner White down at second base. And the pitch, and Donnell behind that fastball. Good for Tanner White. He came into the game with just a 105 batting average, but that is his second double and his 6th RBI of the season. 1 ball and 1 strike. See some emails coming in. We'll get to those in a moment. And Donnell chops this one foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caden Broadcasting at gmail.com. It's always a lot of fun to visit with those of you watching and listening. Of course, our El Dorado faithful, but certainly the Derby fans watching and listening. Love to get those emails. Let me know where you're emailing from. Who are you rooting for? What player out there are you interested in most? And always fun to get pictures of how you're watching the game tonight. Donnell fooled a little bit on that slider and a swing and a miss for strike 3. That's the first out of the inning for El Dorado. So here comes Tyler Bailey. Tyler Bailey from Stafford, Virginia, goes to King College. Right-handed batter. And the first pitch from Birch, and he's starting to dial in a little bit. Interesting inning for Birch, the pitcher. Got ahead of the leadoff batter, Goad, 0-2, but then lost him and walked him. White with a double, then a strikeout of Donnell, and now a quick strike on Bailey. No balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. That's outside. Ball 1. Tyler Bailey, his 10th game. 226 batting average. He's got the second most at-bats. Jarrett Coyne. No, check that. Kyle Barfield has the most at-bats for El Dorado on the season. And Birch delivers, and this one's hit in the hole between third and short. On his way to third. Now the left fielder bobbles it, and that'll allow White to score, so that's going to be a single and then an error out in left field. So the El Dorado Broncos take a 3-0 lead. White was not going to score, but then the left fielder, Bland, had that thing ricochet right off his glove, and that made it easy for White to come on in. So back to the top of the order, it's Jarrett Coyne. Singled and scored in the first inning. 3-0 Broncos here in the bottom of the second. Birch came into this game allowing just 1 earned run, but he's already given up 3 here. Curveball in there for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Tyler Bailey leads off of first, looking at the pitcher and into the sun. He goes, and he is going to steal it. Birch threw over to first, and as the first baseman, Falk, was ready to throw it, it dropped out of his glove. So stolen base there for Tyler Bailey. No balls and 2 strikes to Coyne. RBI opportunity now, and he swings at a high fastball and strikes out. So the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up John Laguerre. Laguerre, 6'2", 177 from St. Charles, Illinois. Goes to Purdue University. And he'll look at ball one. 3-0 El Dorado here in the bottom of the second inning. Fun to see the emails coming in again. After 9 days away from the Broncos, Laguerre looks at strike one. Good pitch there from Birch. Two away here in the bottom of the second inning, 3-0 El Dorado. Laguerre flew out to right field his first time. Birch looking in. He's got his sign, and Laguerre got tired of waiting. Hello to Julie Riggs. She tells me the gang in Irons, Michigan. They're rooting on the Broncos, and of course, especially their Alma boys, Josh Riggs and Jarrett Coyne. Laguerre lifts this one into foul territory, and the catcher, Thibodeau, with the catch. And that will retire the side. But for the Broncos in the second, 2 runs, 2 hits. There was an error and 1 left. We'll head to the third. El Dorado 3, Derby 0. Emails and more play-by-play in a moment. You're listening to Bronco Baseball here on YouTube. So time for the top of the third inning here from warm El Dorado. 92 degrees. South wind blowing from around, well, I'd say between 15 and 25 here. Jonathan Thibodeau leads off for Derby here in the top of the third against Avery Reed-Miller and looks at strike one. Thibodeau, slightly open stance at the dish and looks at ball one. Gina Short, one of our faithful Bronco fans and foster parents. 2-1 to toe. She's down in San Antonio. I bet it's warm there, too. Headed to the Riverwalk for dinner. I love the Riverwalk. It's fun. Nice place. Gina assures me she'll be back here for Thursday's game with Derby. I was mentioning the distance between El Dorado and Derby earlier. For those of you unaware, it's really a pretty close trip. Here's a 3-1. Thibodeau fouls it out of play into the parking lot. Misses all the cars. And so this 3-game series, and I had a couple people ask why. Let's see, it's home tonight, then tomorrow it's at Derby, and Thursday it's Derby at El Dorado again. There's the 3-2 pitch to Thibodeau. Had a notion, held up, and walks. So a leadoff walk for Thibodeau. That'll bring up Noah Bland. So it's a way to kind of break it up a little bit, I think, for both teams. And then later in the year, El Dorado will be at Derby and then home to Derby and at Derby in their next 3-game series. So that works out pretty good. But for many of the trips, they're so long that it wouldn't make sense to drive back and forth. The Broncos have gotten two of their long road, not really long, but they went to Great Bend. That's a decent trip. And then Dodge City. That's a fairly lengthy trip. And they'll go to Oklahoma City this weekend. So by the end of the weekend, they'll have three of their, really 5 long road trips. Hayesville, Derby, they're not very far. Here's a good hit by Bland out into center field, and that hits off the wall. Barfield plays it off the wall, throws it quickly in. The runner, Thibodeau, wasn't sure if Barfield was going to catch it or not. And Barfield went back, but let it hit off the center field wall. So it's a long off-the-wall single for Noah Bland, and Derby's got something brewing here in the 3rd inning. A leadoff walk, and now a single. Runners at first and second. Here's Michael Urquidy. Urquidy grounded out to short his first time. And the pitch, he squares around, lays the bunt down. It's a beauty. This is going to be a tough play. Reed Miller over to first. Safe. That was a really well-placed bunt by Urquidy. That'll be a single. And so the bases are loaded for Derby. Reed Miller had to field it. And then you're throwing to first. And again, the first baseman's really looking into a setting sun, not setting yet, but a lower sun off to the west. So that is a tough play. Well done, well executed by Derby. And here's Dalton Dunn with the bases loaded and no outs. 3-0 El Dorado. And the first pitch is high and tight, ball 1. Dunn flew out to center his first time. A walk, a long single, and a short single, if that makes sense. Pitch, swing and a miss by Dunn, 1-1. I mean, you got a single that hits off the wall by Bland, and then you have Urquidy, who lays down a beautiful bunt between the pitcher's mound and home plate, and he's on there. So they both work the same, and Derby's loving it right now. 1 ball and 1 strike, and the pitch. This one's hit in the hole, a base hit. Thibodeau will score. Bland will be held up at third. No reason to take a chance right now for the Twins. And their first 4 have reached here in the 3rd inning. So Dalton Dunn, the RBI single, and now you're getting into the teeth of the Derby lineup. Number 3 batter is Brooke Zimmerman. Brooke Zimmerman from Stillwater, Oklahoma, plays his college ball at Cali College down in Kansas City. And he's the leading hitter for the Twins, certainly in limited at-bats, but 16 at-bats, and he's batting .500. Looks at strike 1. El Dorado playing in on the corners at double play depth in the middle infield. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Reed Miller. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Boy, Avery would love a strikeout here. 3-1 El Dorado, top of the 3rd inning. This Twins team had a lot of offense in their series with Hayesville. A lot of 10-9, 11-10 games in that 3-game series. High chop. This is going to be trouble. Bailey, only play will be the first. They retire Zimmerman, but that scores a run. So a nice job by Zimmerman with 2 strikes on him to put it in play. He advances 2 runners, scores 1, and it's 3-2. 1 away here in the 3rd. Jacob Means, the first baseman. He singled his first time, and he lifts up a high pop on the infield. Reed Miller will make the play. Generally don't see the pitcher. I don't know if Coyne saw it off the bat. He did not make an immediate move, and Reed Miller able to put that one in his back pocket. That's a huge out for El Dorado. Here comes Davis Elliott. Elliott hit into a fielder's choice his first time. So, well, if the Broncos can get out of this with just giving up 2 runs, that would be a win for Reed Miller. The first 4 reached here in the 3rd. And the first pitch to Elliott in there for strike 1. The Twins with their maroon tops, yellow numerals, and gray pants maroon stirrups. El Dorado in the home whites tonight with the orange lettering and black trim. No balls and a strike to Davis Elliott. And the pitch, a little bit low, ball one. Davis Elliott from Brentwood, Tennessee. (3-2) El Dorado. And the pitch, and that one's nubbed foul by Elliott, and Reed Miller's a strike away from getting out of this mess. Broncos with a single run in the first, 2 in the second. Derby has scored 2 here in the third, 3-2. El Dorado. Reed Miller ahead, 1-2. And the pitch from Reed Miller. And this one's hit towards short. Bailey has to wait for it. Now throws quickly and got Elliott out at first. So nice job limiting damage by Reed Miller in the inning for Derby. They scored 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors. They leave 2 in scoring position. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning. El Dorado 3, Derby 2. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball on YouTube. Time for the bottom of the third inning, and we say hello to Aunt Sally. Aunt Sally Bellman. That's Josh Riggs' aunt. And they are also watching from Irons, Michigan. I think I became Facebook friends with Sally. And did I see a picture of like chickens laying eggs or something, I believe. So nice to have, that's one thing with this job here, getting to visit and kind of learn new folks without actually meeting them face to face. But getting to talk to you and read your emails and become Facebook friends as well. Kyle Barfield leading it off. He doubled in Jarrett Coyne in the first inning. And he'll look at strike one, 1 ball and 1 strike to Barfield. Zach Birch remains on the rubber for the Derby Twins. The lefty will wind and deal, and the pitch, and that one bounced in front of the plate, ball 2. El Dorado has scored a run in each of the first 2 innings, 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Here we are, bottom of the third inning. Birch to bring it home, and over the top was Barfield on that curveball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He was waiting and waiting, and then swung over the top of it. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Righty Barfield ready. The pitch, and able to spoil that one. Fouled it into the netting. The Derby Twins, after, well, everyone's had 8 or 9. The Broncos are the only, Broncos and Hayesville are the only teams that have played all 9 of their scheduled games. Been some rainouts, certainly in western Kansas. There's the 2-2. And Barfield laces this one foul, just foul. Derby comes into play, tied for first. There's a 3-way tie for first. Percentage points would change that a little bit. You have Derby and Liberal, both 5-3. Dodge City is 4-2. Dodge City took 2 out of 3 from El Dorado over the weekend. Hayesville is 5-4. Great Bend is 4-4. There's to Barfield. He fouls this one off his foot. Great Bend 4-4. Hayes has had the worst luck with weather. They're 3-3. El Dorado is currently in 7th place, but they're only a game and a half behind first place Derby. They're 4-5. Oklahoma City right now struggling with a record of 1-7. Here's the 2-2, and Barfield swings and misses for strike 3. So here comes Aaron Mack. He was hit by a pitch on a curveball that didn't take. So the Derby Twins, first place here in El Dorado tonight, and they're here again Thursday night. And Mack smacks one out into right center field, and that's a base hit. So Aaron Mack down to first base, and here comes Colton Schenker. It was Schenker, you might remember, back in the first inning with runners at first and second, kind of hit a humpback liner that the second baseman Dunn short hopped. The runners had to hold while he had a fairly easy double play. 4-3, 4 unassisted to 3. They throw over to first, and they look Mack up. He's safe. Great Bend, 4-4. They're at Dodge City at 4-2. There was some pretty dark, ominous clouds out in Dodge City just a little while ago. Curveball in there for strike 1 to Schenker. Oklahoma City at 1-7 is at Hayes tonight. That's a lengthy road trip for OKC. 3-game series out at Hayes against the Larks. And the 0-1 just missed, 1-1. Liberal, 5-3, is at Hayesville, 5-4. That should be an interesting series. So really, the top 7 are really bunched up. A game and a half separates first and 7th. They're over to first. Starting to get to that stretch, though, now. If Derby could take 2 of 3 or all 3, then they'd open up they would drop El Dorado down. But if the Broncos can take 2 out of 3 or get the sweep, well, they would dispose of Derby at the top of the standings. 2 balls and a strike to Colton Schenker. Over at first is Mack. And the pitch, and that one's low, ball 3. Birch, as he delivers with a runner at first, really kind of holds that position, looking at first, and then uncoils and come home, and looked like it threw him off a little bit there. 3 balls and a strike. And he really, that time you could really tell, it focused on the hitter alone, and he smoked a fastball in there for strike 2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Will Toby Reuter have Mack in motion here with 1 away? And the pitch, and that one's outside for ball 4. Kind of quick pitch there. He didn't get that high leg kick. So after a leadoff strikeout by Barfield, a Mack single, and now a Schenker walk, and here comes Mason Goat. And we're going to get a mound visit. Our email address, cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. I think what works best for me as far as getting the links up, just be sure to subscribe to my YouTube page, and it's free, and then I will post the link and start the video broadcast, 6:45, 10 minutes before the first pitch, and then we'll provide audio as we get ready for the first pitch. So on game nights here in El Dorado, that's what you need to do. Just get ready for that link to get posted 10 or 15 minutes before game time. Tomorrow night, no broadcast. The Derby Twins provide an audio broadcast, no video, but audio. And they're here actually tonight providing that as well for those that care to listen to the Derby broadcast. We'll be back here broadcasting with audio and video Thursday night. So Mason Goad ready, and he fouls off the first pitch. Goad walked and scored in the second inning. He fought back from an 0-2 hole to get that walk. last inning. No balls and 1 strike to Mason Goad. Perch has his sign. And the pitch. And Goad foul tipped that one, and it's 0-2 again. So very quickly, Perch able to get ahead of Goad, 0-2. Mason Goad from Carthage, Missouri. Goes to school here in El Dorado at Butler County Community College. No balls and 2 strikes. Down at second is Mack. Colton Schenker at first. 0-2 pitch coming to Goad. Curveball and stayed outside. Ball 1. So a ball and 2 strikes. And go to swing and a miss at an outside fastball. That's a 4th strikeout of the night for Zach Birch. 2 away for El Dorado, and here comes Tanner White. Tanner White doubled down the third base line. Drove in Mason Goad in the 2nd inning. And he'll come up to the plate here with 2 away and a runner in scoring position. As Mason Goad just swung at that pitch, boy, the wind really started picking up. The American flag really blowing out to center field. And White watches this one go inside for ball 1. Left-handed batter, Tanner White. Birch has had, this is his 3rd really stressful inning. And the pitch, and White broke his bat. It's grounded down to first. Falk has it, and he'll take it himself. And that gets Birch out of the inning with no damage done. So no runs, a hit. There was no errors and 2 left. We're through 3 innings from beautiful McDonald Stadium. It's El Dorado 3 and Derby 2. Back in a moment here on YouTube. So time for the 4th inning here from McDonald Stadium. 3-2 El Dorado. Broncos got up to a 3-0 lead after 2. Derby answered with 2 runs in the 3rd. And they kept El Dorado off the scoreboard in the 3rd. Top of the 4th inning, 3-2 Broncos. And here's Joe Falk leading it off for the Twins. Well, he gets right up there on that plate, and he'll look at an inside fastball for ball 1. Falk came into the game batting .381, 8 for 21 on the season. And the 1-0, that one skipped off of Donnell for ball 2. Joe Falk, no extra base hits, but he has 5 RBIs. 1 stolen base on the season for Falk. 2 balls and no strikes, and Falk gets into one, hits it out into left field to the wall and gone. Boy, did he turn on that one. Reed Miller fell behind 2-0, and Falk pounced on that one. And that ties the game up at 3. A leadoff solo shot by Joe Falk. So, brand new ball game here, top of the 4th inning. Connor Basler up. He lined out to short his first time. And Basler lays down a bunt. Reed Miller has to field it over to first, and he is safe. The ball, as White tried to grab it, hit the back of Basler, and another really well-placed bunt by the Twins. So Falk with a leadoff homer, and now a bunt single for Basler, and that'll bring up Thibodeau. Thibodeau walked and scored. Back in the 2nd inning. Reed Miller's throw was more toward the first base foul side there. I think if he throws it inside of the base there, they might have gotten past. It would have been close. Now Thibodeau squares around, pulls it back. 1 ball and no strikes. 3-3, top of the 4th inning. Long look down at third for the catcher, Thibodeau. Thibodeau from Burlington, Ontario, Canada. Bunts this one in the air. White has to field it. I think he would have to play at second. Reed Miller slow to cover first. And Thibodeau beat it. That was popped up in the air towards first, and so the runner at first, Basler, had to hold. And I think Reed Miller figured White was going to go to second. And instead, instead of racing to the base, was waiting for Reed Miller to get there. So that'll be another infield single, and now the Twins, runners at first and second. Here's Noah Bland. He squares the bunt. Bunts it right back to Reed Miller. He'll throw to first, and they retire Bland on a close play. With, as a baseball fan, you have to love the small ball execution by the Twins here tonight. Really well done. I guess of the 4 bunts they've had, I guess that was the worst, but it wasn't that bad. It was really well done, got the job done, and Bland nearly got onto first base, so that turns the order over. Michael Urquidy up there, left-handed stick, and he laces one out of the field, back to the wall, and it one-hops the wall. That will score 2. It rolls all the way to center. Barfield throwing it in. Urquidy on his way to third. He will slide in with no throw. A triple for Urquidy. And the Derby Twins lead at 5-3. So Donnell will go out and talk to Reed Miller. Reed Miller breezed through the first and pretty much the second as well. Leadoff single by Means, but Reed Miller didn't work up much of a sweat. Then the first 4 reached in the 3rd inning. Derby scored 2. And now 4 of the first 5 have reached for Derby here in the 4th. The only out was a sacrifice. So here's Dalton Dunn. Dunn, his 8th game of the season, came in batting .393. 1 for 2 tonight. 7 RBIs, 3 doubles on the season for Dunn. He singled his last time, singled in a run. Sun tucks behind some clouds. 5. First pitch. First pitch swinging, that's fouled, and strike one. So, all right, Tyler Myers is batting here for Dalton Dunn. And the 0-1 around the plate, but missing. So Tyler Myers, 1 ball and 1 strike. So Dunn, after 2 at-bats, is done. Quick throw down to third. It got through Coyne. And that will be a gift. Urquidy will come in to score. Donnell threw it down to third. And somehow that got through Jarrett Coyne. So now 6-3. Tyler Myers from Houston, Texas. He's on my roster as a pitcher and a third baseman. Goes to Paris Community College. So the base pads are clear and a swing and a miss by Myers. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A 4-run fourth to this point for the Twins. 6-3 Derby. And he'll foul off that 2-2 pitch into the netting. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, still just 1 out. The only out was the sacrifice by Noah Bland. And the 2-2 pitch, Donnell setting up outside, and that one ended up outside, 3-2. Myers on the season hitting .250, 5 out of 20. He's got 2 home runs, 7 RBI. And the 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and a strikeout for Reed Miller. So that error, allowing Urquidy to score, stings a little bit now because he'd have 2 out and a runner at third, and here's Brooke Zimmerman. So the Broncos scored the first 3 runs. Derby has come back to score the next 6. And the first pitch to Zimmerman, a little bit low, ball 1. Zimmerman is 0 for 2 tonight, popped out to short, grounded out to short. And the pitch, that sails outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Joe Falk led off this inning with a home run over the left field wall. That one's in there for strike 1. Ben Olsen trotting down to the mound, or to the bullpen for the Broncos. There's the 2-1, and that one's nubbed foul. So Reed Miller works his way back after falling behind 2-0. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Same 2 teams tomorrow night at Derby. And they'll wrap up the series Thursday here in El Dorado. The 2-2, hit right up the middle, got through Reed Miller. Ranging his goad, fields a quick throw to first, and safe. As it got past White, now on his way to second, throw down to 2, and safe. So that will be an error. Gary? So an error is charged, and Zimmerman advanced second. Jacob Means comes up, his 3rd at bat in 4 innings. Means a single and a pop out to the pitcher. And he'll look at strike 1. Runner down at second is Zimmerman. 2 away for Derby here in the top of the 4th. And the 0-1 pitch, curveball, and that's fouled out of play. It hit the side of the stadium and bounced right back between Reed Miller and Donnell. So no balls and 2 strikes. Reardon, Donnell is setting up on the outside. Running is Means, and he will, it is Zimmerman, I should say, and he'll steal it easily. So down to third is Brooke Zimmerman. Any kind of base hit will score him. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 away for Derby here in the top of the 4th. Reed Miller's got his sign. And the pitch. And that one's laced towards third, past Coyne, and that will roll into the corner. Rounding first on his way to second is Means. Digging it out is Laguerre, and he'll throw it in. And Derby leads 7-3. RBI double for Jacob Means. And Joe Kennedy will walk out and talk to Reed Miller. Boy, the third inning was a struggle. This 4th inning has been a disaster for Avery Reed Miller. Ben Olson warming up down in the pen. A 5-run 4th here for Derby. These guys can definitely score, but saw over the weekend Hayesville was able to score on them as well. Made for some big scores and entertaining baseball. That was a Hayesville team that when they were here in El Dorado last weekend in that 3-game series, it was a struggle for them to score. So Davis Elliott, the 9th batter of the inning for the Twins. Davis Elliott hit into a fielder's choice, grounded out to short. He's 0 for 2. Umpire reaching into his, trying to find maybe his clicker. Yeah, I think I couldn't figure out which pocket. Of course, he's got the 2 saddlebags on his belt, and then his regular pockets. Finally found it. First pitch to Elliott. That's high for ball 1. Falk homered. Basler singled. Thibodeau single. A sacrifice by Bland. A triple by Urquidy. A throwing error by Goad, and then a double by Means. Strike 1 to Elliott. One ball and 1 strike to Davis Elliott. Came into the game batting .357 on the season. And he lifts this one foul. Donnell gives it a look. It's going to fall down into his glove. A little bit of an adventure. Always tough for the catchers on those one straight back, but that's the catch, and that ends a very long inning for the Bronco defense. For the Derby Twins, they score 5 runs on 5 hits. There was an error, and 1 man left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Derby 7, El Dorado 3. So the El Dorado Broncos are looking at a deficit for the first time tonight. And they'll lead off here with Sam Donnell. Broncos scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second. but 2 in the third and 5 in the fourth for Derby. They lead 7-3, and Donnell quickly ahead 2-0. Donnell, Bailey, and Coyne, the scheduled 3 for the Broncos. And Donnell lifts one out to right field, and a running catch. Nicely done out there by Zimmerman. Boy, right off the bat, it looked like that might be a slicer that could be a double, but it didn't slice as much, and Zimmerman closed the gap quickly. So here's Tyler Bailey with one away in the fourth inning. And Zach Birch has to feel a little better now after a bit of a rough start. Giving up 3 runs in the first 2, worked out of 2 runners on in the third, and now gets the first out here in the fourth. And Bailey a little bit upstairs, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes to Tyler Bailey. Right-handed batter, and he'll look at ball 3. Bailey comes into this game batting .226 on the season. He's walked 7 times. He's ahead here 3-0. And the pitch, right down central, 4 ball for strike 1, 3 balls and a strike. So 3-1. Bailey will look for his spot here. And the pitch from Birch. And Bailey puts a charge into one out into left center field. Gone! Tyler Bailey. Teed off on a 3-1 fastball. So a solo home run for Bailey. And that's the first home run of the season for Tyler Bailey. So back to the top of the order, and Jarrett Coyne. And it's 7-4, Derby. Jarrett Coyne 1 for 2 tonight. And he's frozen on the curveball for strike 1. Singled and scored in the first inning, struck out in the second. And the pitch, Coyne lays down a bunt, going down the third base line, and it will roll foul. Not a bad attempt there by Coyne. Smart play by Birch. So no balls and 2 strikes. So out in front is Birch, 0-2. And the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So 2 away for El Dorado here in the fourth, and that'll bring up John Laguerre. Saw a picture posted by at the El Dorado Bronco Twitter handle of Laguerre and a Dodge City player. Both play for Purdue University, so that'd be fun for those 2 college teammates to see each other here during the summer. We'll see Dodge City here later on down the road. 1 ball and no strikes to Laguerre. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He is the only Bronco who has not been on base as of yet. And the 1-0, that one curves in for strike 1. Everyone else, let's see, no, Sam Donnell is the other Bronco who has not been on yet. Tyler Bailey with that home run, he's 2 for 2 tonight. So a ball and a strike to Laguerre, playing left field. And Laguerre looks at this one bouncing in. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Wind still howling out towards center field from right to left. And Laguerre looking low, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Kyle Barfield would be next for the Broncos. And the 3-1. And this one, Birch put a challenge fastball to Bailey, and he hit it over left center field fence. Laguerre was not going to get that challenge fastball. He went with the curveball. It stayed outside for ball 4. So a 2-out walk to Laguerre, and that'll bring up Barfield. Kyle Barfield doubled in Jared Coyne back in the first inning. And this one bounces in. Thibodeau got his chest protector right out in front of that one. And it's 1-0. On the go is Laguerre. And boy, he slid, and it looked like he really slowly kind of stuck in the turf. And Derby able to throw out Laguerre on the steal/pickoff attempt there, and that'll be the 3rd out. So 3-6 is the put out there. Barfield will lead off the 5th inning. We'll head to that 5th inning. And for the Broncos, they score 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. It was a Tyler Bailey home run that scored for the Broncos. So after 4 complete, Derby 7, El Dorado 4. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball on YouTube. So top half of the 5th inning and a pitching change for the Broncos. It's going to be John Steiger. For Avery Riedmiller, 4 innings pitched. He gave up 7 runs. First pitch swinging is Derby's Falk, and he grounds out to Jarrett Coyne for the 1st out. So Riedmiller gives up 7 runs, 9 hits in his 4 innings of work. He walked 1, he struck out 1. So Connor Basler comes up. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Singled and scored in that 5-run 4th inning for Derby. 1 ball and no strikes. Steiger, a lefty from Cloud County Community College, and that one's in there for strike 1. Hometown, not far from here, Leon, Kansas. And that 1-1 is in the turf. For Steiger, this is his 3rd game. He is 2-0 on the season. 7 innings pitched, 11 hits, 5 earned, 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. An ERA at 6, nearly 6.5. 3 balls and a strike to Basler. Basler lined out to short and single. 1 for 2. And here's one down to Coyne. Gets it on a couple of hops. Slings it over to first base, and that will retire Basler. So a couple of 5-3 putouts here in the top of the 5th inning, and here comes Jonathan Thibodeau. Jonathan Thibodeau walked and scored in the 3rd inning, singled and scored in the 4th. Jonathan Thibodeau waits for the first pitch, and it's a little bit high for ball 1. Thibodeau coming into this game. This is his third game of the year, hitting 375, 3 for 8 coming in. He's 1 for 1 tonight. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 away for Derby here in the top of the 5th inning. 7-4 Twins. And the pitch, a little bit low, ball 3. Steiger's close, but just not quite in the zone here against Thibodeau. And the 3-0, and that one's in there for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike. And here's the 3-1, swing and a miss for strike 2, so Steiger works it back full. Here's the full count, and Thibodeau chops it over Steiger. Bailey coming in, quick throw to first, and it's off the glove of White. That was going to be that'll be a base hit. It looked like Goad and Bailey weren't quite on the right page there. Bailey held up just a moment. So a McDonald Stadium infield single for Thibodeau, and that'll bring up Noah Bland. Noah Bland singled and scored in the 3rd, and then had a successful sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning. Bland playing left field. He is from Oberlin, Ohio. He goes to Ohio Dominican, and he laces one out to short. Bailey's got it, flips to second, and that will retire the side. So no runs, a hit, no errors. Nobody left. We're halfway through on this beautiful Tuesday night. Derby 7, El Dorado 4. We're back in a moment here on YouTube. So welcome back, bottom of the 5th inning, and Eric Reardon is the new pitcher for the Twins. Eric Reardon from North Brunswick, New Jersey. He goes to Rutgers University. For Zach Birch tonight, 4 innings pitched. He gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and he hit a batter. So the first Bronco to greet Reardon will be Kyle Barfield. And Reardon is outside for ball one. Reardon in his third game of the season. He's got 2 2/3 under his belt. And Reardon has given up 4 earned runs on 3 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So a 13.5 OERA and a very short little sample size. 2-0, challenge fastball, strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. So neither starter was terribly stellar here tonight. Reed Miller had a good first couple of innings, but boy, Derby got to him in the 3rd and the 4th. And for Birch, he had traffic on the base pads in every inning. Barfield over the short, high throw, and that ends up in the dugout. So Basler's throw ends up in the Twins dugout. That'll be an error. So, got to always check with Gary to make sure, but that seemed pretty easy to call there. So the Broncos get a bit of a gift. Barfield down at second base. Here's Aaron Mack. 1 for 1. He was hit by a pitch and swing and a miss, a little bit behind that fastball from Reardon. More Derby pitchers trotting down to the bullpen. They have several on their roster. No balls and a strike to Aaron Mack. Reardon brings it in, and that curveball just missed on the inner half. Aaron Mack from Madison, Wisconsin. He goes to school in Wichita at Newman University. Wind gusting a little more now, just out straight to right field. There's a pitch, and that's on the outside corner for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Colton Schenker waits on deck for the Broncos. Our email address, cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Mack fouls this one off into the Derby dugout. Big thanks to El Dorado Building Systems Incorporated, 1216 West 6th here in El Dorado. Brad and Roxanne Cool, terrific sponsors of Bronco baseball and our broadcast. So thank you, Brad and Roxanne. El Dorado Building Systems Incorporated. The 1-2 pitch, and Mack pops this one. It'll get out of play. El Dorado Building Systems Incorporated, 1216 West 6th. Their toll-free number, 1-800-279-4300. They are the best as far as in today's metal building market. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reardon's gone soft the last 2 pitches. And this one goes over the catcher's head. That's a wild pitch. So Barfield reached down in there, advanced to second on the as the ball went in the dugout, now goes to third on a wild pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Aaron Mack. Lefty on lefty here, bottom of the 5th inning, 7-4 Derby. And the pitch, curveball, that hit Mack. Second time tonight, he's been hit by a soft one, a breaking ball that just didn't take. Once by Birch, now once by Reardon. So the Broncos have something brewing here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's Colton Schenker. Schenker hit into a double play in the 1st inning, walked in the 3rd. Lights illuminated here at McDonald Stadium as the sun has gone down. And first pitch fastball in there for strike 1. And Schenker lines one out to center field. That's caught out there by Urquidy. Tagging and scoring is Barfield. The sacrifice fly for Schenker. So the air comes back to hurt the Twins, and it's 7-5. El Dorado scoring for the fourth time in 5 innings. Or in the fourth inning, for the fourth 5 innings, the Broncos have scored in. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the fourth, and now 1 here in the fifth. Here's Mason Goad. Mason Goad, 0 for 1 tonight. He walked and scored in the second inning. He struck out swinging in the third. Runner at first is Aaron Mack, reached on a hit by pitch. And the pitch from Reardon. That one's in there for strike 1. 7-5 Derby. Reardon not working as quickly as Birch, and a swing and a miss. Goad behind there. Goad batting .286 on the season, 8 for 28 with 3 doubles, 2 RBI, 4 walks and 5 strikeouts coming in. Goad also has a couple of stolen bases on the season. No balls and 2 strikes to Mason Goad. Mack with the lead, fastball outside, ball 1. So ball and 2 strikes to Goad. Tanner White waits on deck for the El Dorado Broncos. And the pitch from Reardon. Swing and a miss. That looked like ball 2. That was in the turf, and Goad swings and misses. So that's the second out of the inning, and here comes Tanner White. Tanner White, RBI double in the second inning, and then grounded out to first in the third. Aaron Mack with the lead off first, and the pitch stays a little bit high and tight. It's ball 1 to Tanner White. Tanner White, 6'1", 180. Dealing with the Rutgers product, Eric Reardon, and White behind on that one, and that's fouled into the El Dorado bullpen. It was that way that White went in the second inning on his double. Sliced one that just hit inside of the foul line. And the 1-1, and that one swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Great to have so many of you watching and listening. Hope you're enjoying our broadcast here on YouTube tonight. Derby fans, El Dorado fans, all of you. Glad to have you. So ball and 2 strikes, and the pitch to White. That one's low, ball 2. Don't forget, this game and all of our broadcasts are archived on my page here. You can go back and watch any or all of them if you like. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2-way to Tanner White. And the pitch. And White hits it out into left center field. Mack rounding second. Head of steam on his way to third. A beautiful throw. And Mack is gone down. Urquidy threw a strike to the third baseman. Means that was really well done. Not a bad chance there, I thought, by Mack. He did not break stride. He was chugging, but that was a perfect strike, and that's what it took to throw out Aaron Mack. So a base hit for Tanner White, but Mack is retired 8-5. In the inning for El Dorado, a run on 1 hit. There was an error and 1 left. We're headed to the 6th. Derby 7, El Dorado 5. This is Bronco Baseball on YouTube. And welcome back. Top of the 6th inning. And a new pitcher for El Dorado. And I know he's got a big fan club up in Irons, Michigan. It's Josh Riggs coming out to pitch for the Broncos. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Michael Urquidy, the leadoff batter. 1 inning of work for Steiger. Gave up a single. And here's a pitch hit over to first base. White with a terrific play. It throws over to Riggs. What a job there. Tanner White to Josh Riggs. White laid out to glove that one. Riggs covering. And Josh is a good target to throw at 6-6. So 1 away. A big first out for the Broncos. That'll bring up Tyler Myers. Myers came in to hit for Dunn back in the 4th inning. He struck out. So 0 for 1. And the 1-0 pitch from Riggs. This one's hit towards first base. White has it. He'll flip it to Riggs. And again, 3-1 for the putout. White and Riggs have that play down. So 2 away quickly here for Derby in the 6th inning. And Brooke Zimmerman will step up. He's 0 for 3 officially tonight. Reached on an error in the 4th inning and came around and scored. And he hits one down the right field line, slicing foul. So no balls and a strike. Zimmerman has an RBI tonight. It's ground out in the 3rd, scored a run. Here's one hit out to second base. Goad will glove it over to first, and a good inning for Josh Riggs. A shutdown inning. Steiger had a good 5th inning. Josh Riggs, an even better 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Derby 7, El Dorado 5. So time for the bottom of the 6th inning. Sam Donnell will lead off for El Dorado. 7-5 Derby. Derby with 2 runs in the 3rd, 5 bid runs in the 4th inning. El Dorado with 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. So they've been pecking away. Derby has put up a couple of crooked numbers up on the line score. 1 ball and no strikes. Eric Reardon out there for his 2nd inning of work. And Donnell looks at ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the 2-0 from Reardon, and that's a beauty in there for strike 1. South winds blowing in that heat here in south central Kansas. Here's the 2-1. Donnell taps it towards first. Took a weird bounce on the first baseman, Falk, but He's able to glove it, flip over to first, and retire Donnell. So Tyler Bailey now will come up. Bailey homered back in the fourth inning off of Birch, as Birch fell behind 3-1, threw a challenge fastball in there, and Birch hit it over the left center field wall. First pitch to Bailey, high and away, ball one. 2 for 2 is Tyler, single on a stolen base in the second inning, and that home run. Solo homer in the fourth. 1 ball and no strikes from Reardon. And this one stays upstairs, 2-0. The Broncos at Derby tomorrow, home to Derby on Thursday, and then at Oklahoma City this weekend. And then a nice stretch of home games. Bailey is going to hit one towards the hole. Diving effort by Myers. That'll be a third hit for Tyler Bailey. A seeing eye single through the right side. Myers gave it a good effort, but unable to glove it. So to the top of the order, it's Jarrett Coyne. Coyne 1 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts, a single and a run in the first inning. El Dorado has yet to be retired 1-2-3 tonight. And they have had runners on base, every inning. Bailey gets his lead off for first. The lefty Reardon will keep him close. And the 1-0 pitch to Coyne. And fouled off. So after this weekend, next week, next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the Broncos are home to the Hayes Larks. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Liberal is in town. Of course, we'll have all 6 of those games, June 20th through June 25th, on the air here. Coyne a tap foul, 1-2. And then June 27th at Derby in 2 weeks. And then Derby's back here June 28th. And the Broncos and the Twins will be done with their series, with their 6 games by June 29th. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch to Coyne, fastball outside, 2-2. So after this weekend, the Broncos will have 7 of 8 games at home. Two balls, 2 strikes to Coyne. And he taps this one towards short. Fielded there by Basler over to second for 1. Bailey safe at first. Coyne safe at first. Bailey is retired 6-4. So 2 away, and here comes John Laguerre. This is the 3rd straight time Laguerre has come up with 2 away. The biggest stretch of home games this year for the Broncos, July 4th through July 13th. 9 home games in 10 days. Oklahoma City will be here on the 4th of July, and the 5th and the 6th. Dodge City's here July 7th, 8th, and 9th. And Great Bend is here July 11th, 12th, and 13th. That'll wrap up the home portion of the schedule. El Dorado ends the season with 6 straight road games, 3 at Hayesville and 3 at Hayes. 1 ball and 1 strike to Laguerre. Laguerre tonight 0 for 2 with a walk. One ball, 1 strike to Laguerre. And this is high and away, ball 2. (7-5) Derby, bottom of the 6th inning. And the 2-1 pitch, that's high and away, ball 3. Kyle Barfield waits on deck. Reardon looking in. He's got his sign, the 3-1 pitch to Laguerre. And that's nowhere close. So a 5-pitch walk to Laguerre. And the Broncos have runners at first and second with 2 away and Kyle Barfield, and we're going to get a mound visit. Barfield will walk down to visit with his third base coach. Toby Reuter, the manager for the El Dorado Broncos, Joe Kennedy and Nick Griffin assisting. Derby with 7 runs on 10 hits here tonight. El Dorado with 5 runs on 6 hits. Check that, 7 hits. Kyle Barfield, the Kansas State Wildcat, doubled in a run in the first, struck out in the third, reached on an error in the fifth, and came around and scored on a sacrifice fly by Colton Schenker. Reardon's got his sign, and the pitch to Barfield. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Eric Reardon, Rutgers University. Derby 5-3, tied with Liberal and Dodge City. Derby 5-3, Liberal 5-3, Dodge is 4-2. The A's head to Derby this weekend. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Change the eye level a little bit there. So now no balls and 2 strikes. Coyne at second base, Laguerre at first. And Barfield able to stay alive, just foul tip that one. El Dorado coming into play 4-5 on the season. 6 of their 9 games have been on the road. They're 2-1 at home and 2-4 away from home. Two of these 3 games in this series are here in El Dorado. And the 0-2 to Barfield. That one's in the turf. Thibodeau able to keep it in front. He's done a nice job back there. So a ball and 2 strikes to Barfield. Laguerre's got a nice lead off at first. Coyne off the second. They set up on the outer third. And the 1-2. And Barfield fouls it out of play. Decent crowd here as I peek around the stands. Derby, nice gathering here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch to Barfield, a chopper towards third, and it takes the third baseman Means right to the bag, and that will retire the side. So no runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left. We'll head to the 7th inning. Derby 7, El Dorado 5. So top of the 7th inning here. Derby leading 7-5. Jacob Means will lead it off. He is 2 for 3 tonight. Single and a double. And a pop out to the pitcher. And the 1-0, and that one skips in on Donnell, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes to Means. Josh Riggs in his 2nd inning of work. That one's in there for strike 1. Means, Elliott, and Falk here in the 7th inning for the Twins. 2 balls and a strike. And Riggs is high. It's ball 3, 3-1. 7-5 Derby. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Riggs has his sign, winds and deals, and that one's inside for ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Jacob Means. Hunter Larson and Mitch McIntyre making the way up here into the press box after collecting money for the 50-50. Was it a good pickup tonight? Here comes Davis Elliott, the DH. He's 0 for 3 tonight. And the first pitch, that one's in there for strike 1. Now Hunter Larson from Emmett, Idaho. Treasure Valley community. Is that a 4-year, 2-year? What's the nickname of Treasure Valley? The Chuckers. All right, I'm learning. Is that a, so it's you said 2-year, right? Swing and a miss by Elliott. No balls and 2 strikes. The Chuckers. How did you end up here in El Dorado? So far, so good. And Mitch McIntyre, Indiana State, from Wichita. The Shockers can't be happy about that, can they? Oh, at Wichita State 1 year. And now it's Sycamore. All right. Nice to see you guys. 2 pitchers. We'll be seeing a lot of them this year. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Elliott. And the pitch stayed upstairs, ball 2. The Chuckers, Treasure Valley Chuckers. Davis Elliott at the dish. Leadoff walk to Means. He's over at first. And a throw over to first as Means started skipping away. Riggs looks him up. Riggs has assigned the pitch. High, ball 3. Three-two pitch here to Davis Elliott. And on the move is Means. This one's fouled, and that one is going to get out of play. So hit and run put on there by the Twins. Three balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, and this one again is fouled down the first base side, now to play. So another 3-2 pitch coming to Elliott. Joe Falk waits on deck. 7-5 Derby here in the 7th. On the move is Means. This one's hit out into center field. Barfield coming in, returning is Means, and Barfield has the catch for the first out. Good at bat by Elliott, but Riggs ends up winning the battle. So one away, and here comes Joe Falk. Joe Falk, leadoff home run back in the fourth inning. That big 5-run fourth inning for Derby. And the first pitch to Falk is in there for strike one. And this pitch gets off of the glove of Donnell, and that will a wild pitch to Riggs, and that will get Means down to second base with one away here in the top half of the seventh inning. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch, that one's outside, 2-1. Josh Riggs. Third appearance for Riggs. 7 innings of work. Gave up 5 earned runs. He's got an ERA coming in of 6.4. Riggs with 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. Joe Falk 1 for 3 tonight, and this one has popped up. Donnell didn't see it at first. Now it comes back, but that one just on the other side of that netting. So 2 and 2 strikes to Joe Falk. It's not easy to land a foul ball into the stands here. Certainly over the top is not an easy thing to do, but Falk did it there. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Joe Falk. He's popped out to third, grounded out to third, along with that home run in the fourth inning. And the 2-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Donnell will have to retire him out at first and throws down to Tanner White. So 2 away, and here comes Connor Basler. Basler with a sharp line drive out to Bailey at shortstop in the second inning, singled and scored in that fourth, and grounded out to third in the fifth inning. The pitch from Riggs in the turf, and Donnell blocks that one, 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Basler, the number 7 batter in the Derby lineup tonight. And that pitch, Donnell was set up inside, had to reach outside. It wasn't, it didn't look too far off the plate, but Donnell having to reach for it made it probably look worse than it was. 2 balls and no strikes. And the pitch, this one's nubbed towards first. White gloves it. He'll flip to Riggs, and that retires Basler and the Twins here in the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. Time to stretch. Derby 7, El Dorado 5. More in a moment here on YouTube. And welcome back. Bottom of the seventh inning here for El Dorado and a new Derby pitcher, Matthew Dallas. Dallas from Boise, Idaho. Goes to Minnesota Crookston. And watching Dallas in the warm-up, boy, he throws hard. But he threw a few to the backstop. First batter for the Broncos, Aaron Mack, looks at strike one. No balls and a strike to Mack. Mack has been hit twice tonight, and he has a single. So officially 1 for 1. Dallas has a save on the season, 3 innings of work, 3 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. 1 ball and 1 strike to Aaron Mack. And that's in there for strike 2. This is the first right-handed pitcher that El Dorado has looked at tonight. Both Birch and Reardon were lefties. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mack. 4, 5, and 6 up for El Dorado here in the 7th inning. And a pitch and a foul tip. And Thibodeau just held it there, was hoping that he'd caught that one. He knew he didn't and felt like he should have. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mack. And the pitch and a swing and a miss. No, there was a... Okay, it was not a foul tip. It popped out of the glove of Thibodeau. He tags Mack to retire Aaron. So a strikeout for Dallas, and here comes Colton Schenker. Colton Schenker from Augusta, just down the road, goes to Labette County Community College. And the first pitch to Schenker, hit up the middle, ranging is Myers. What a glove, throws to first and unable to throw out Schenker, and that'll be a base hit. Great effort by Myers. Tyler Myers with a nice glove there. So here comes Mason Goad. And again, the Broncos with a runner on base. They've had a runner on every inning. And the first pitch, Goad fouls this one off. He was behind on that fastball, strike 1. 3 men reached in the first inning, 3 in the second for El Dorado, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and 2 in the sixth. So the Broncos have had traffic out on the base patch tonight. Goad swings over the top of that curveball, and it's 0-2. 0-2 here to Mason Goad. Tanner White waits on deck for El Dorado. Goad tonight 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts. He walked and scored in the second inning. And the pitch, fastball, just missed. That was close. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Umpire might have been surprised by the velocity there. Dallas can bring it. So a ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch, Goad taps this one towards first, and it'll be foul. Again, we do invite your emails, whether you're a Derby fan or an El Dorado fan. Our email address, cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. I'd like to know where you're emailing from, who you're watching tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mason Goad. And the pitch, fastball and a swing and a miss, strike 3. Good heat from Dallas. So a couple of strikeouts sandwiched between a single by Schenker. So Tanner White comes up. He's 2 for 3 tonight. White had that single in the 5th inning. Aaron Mack tried to go first to third, but Urquidy threw him out at third base. Threw Mack out. White with an RBI double in the second inning. And the pitch to White, that one's in there for strike one. So no balls and a strike. Sam Donnell waits on deck for El Dorado. And the 0-1. That one's in the turf. And again, Thibodeau does a great job of keeping that in front. Thibodeau really squares it up and gets that chest on it and beats it right down in the turf right in front of him. 1 ball and 1 strike. 7-5 Derby. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the 1-1. That one's inside. Ball 2. Derby with bodies down in the bullpen, but no one throwing. El Dorado's had Taylor Woods throwing in their bullpen. 2 balls and a strike to Tanner White. And that one gets past the catcher Thibodeau, ricochets off the backstop, but no chance to get Schenker. So the Broncos are a base hit away from getting within 1 run here, you would think. 2 for 3 is White tonight. A ground out to first in the 3rd inning. He's ahead 3 balls and a strike. Good hole on the right side for White. And he goes the other way and fouls it out of play. Outfield pretty much playing straight away on White. The second baseman, Myers, shades towards second base. So there is a hole if you could get out in front of Dallas on the right side. But, boy, he throws so hard. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away in the 7th. And the pitch. Curveball is up, and it's a ball 4. So here comes Sam Donnell. Sam is 0 for 3 tonight. Strikeout in the 2nd inning. Flew out to right field in the 4th. And grounded out 3-1 in the 6th inning. So Sam Donnell looks at ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Colton Schenker, an infield single. He's at second base. There's the pitch. That one's in there for strike 1. Tanner White walked. He's at first. Wind is calmed down, but still breezy here at El Dorado. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch to Donnell in the turf, and that one off the catcher's shin guards. And the runners move up, and now the Broncos could be a base hit away from tying this game. If you tuned in a little bit late, El Dorado got out to a 3-0 lead after 2 innings of play. Derby scored 2 in the 3rd to make it 3-2, and then 5 in the 4th. To take a 7-2 lead. El Dorado's been chipping away ever since. Here's the 2-1. And a swing and a miss. Donnell came out of his place, swung really hard at that one. And Dallas, one of those guys who you don't have to swing that hard. He provides most of the power. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 on and 2 out here in the 7th. And now Donnell will step out. You would think Donnell wants to get him here. Or excuse me, that Dallas wants to get Donnell here on this 2-2. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 3. So a full count. Tyler Bailey, 3 for 3 on the night, waiting on deck. Sam Donnell Should get something here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that one on the corner for strike 3. Big strikeout for Dallas. Strands 2 Broncos in scoring possession. No runs, a hit. No errors and 2 left. We'll head to the 8th. Derby 7, El Dorado 5. More in a moment here on YouTube.
Ideally. Well, I mean, last year we had a camera that was hooked into the snack and whatnot. But I broadcasted and filmed it. It's a little harder, but it's no. That'd be ideal. Yep. This is the. But then you have to get the audio going through the camera somehow. Because if you use the camera mic, you're going to get everything. So I'm not sure.
So welcome back here to the top of the 8th inning. 7-5 in favor of the Twins. And Jonathan Thibodeau will lead off here for the Twins. New pitcher for the El Dorado Broncos is Taylor Woods. So 2 good innings from Riggs. Woods starts off Thibodeau with strike 1. Fourth pitcher of the night for El Dorado. Woods in the zone again, strike 2. Riggs went 2 innings, gave up 1 walk and 1 strikeout, 0 hits. And Woods, good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Thibodeau, who looked at all 3. So the number 9 hitter, Noah Bland, comes up. Noah Bland singled and scored in the 3rd inning, sacrifice bunt in the 4th, and hit into a fielder's choice in the 5th. So he hit in 3. He came up to the dish in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and thanks to Riggs shutting the door, now Bland bats again here in the 8th. And Bland ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. Taylor Woods from Winfield, and here's a line drive out to short, and Tyler Bailey with the catch. Bland hit it well, but Bailey showing good range in the hole to nab that one. So 2 away for Derby here in the 8th, and the order turns over. It's Michael Urquidy. Urquidy is 2 for 4 tonight. singled in the third, a 2 RBI triple in the fourth. And the first pitch is high off the backstop for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Urquidy from El Paso, Texas, goes to Angelo State. So 2 balls and no strikes to Urquidy. Tyler Myers waits on deck. And Urquidy hits one hard and deep onto right center field off the top of the wall. Barfield fields it over to second base, and sliding in with a double is Urquidy. Boy, did he come close to a home run there. That hit just below the yellow line out there in the outfield. Might have been one of those where the wind might have hurt. It might have pushed that to the deeper portion of the field. So Urquidy with a single, double, and a triple tonight. 3 for 5. Here's Tyler Myers, and he checks in time. 1 ball and no strikes. 2 away for Derby. They look for a little insurance here. They lead 7-5. And the 1-0 pitch. And swinging and missing. The bat left Tyler Myers' hands and hit off the railing of the El Dorado dugout. Some brave Broncos over there. That bat was helicoptering, and there's 2 Broncos at the end of the dugout. Just seemed to know that was going to hit the railing and ricochet away. It could have gone anywhere. They barely moved. To be young and fearless. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch from Woods in the turf, and Donnell blocks that one. 2 balls and a strike. Taylor Woods goes to Labette County Community College. And this is Taylor's 5th appearance of the season. Leads the team. And a throw to second, right on the base, and he picked off Urquidy. Taylor put it right where it had to be, and Tyler Bailey put the tag on. Urquidy is retired, and that will end the inning. No runs on a hit. No errors, nobody left. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th, 7-5, Derby. So Taylor Woods with the pickoff of Urquidy to end the 8th inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Tyler Bailey leads it off. The number 9 batter, but he's 3 for 3 tonight. And Matthew Dallas falls behind 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Bailey with a couple of singles and a home run tonight. 9-1-2 for El Dorado here in the 8th. Dallas winds and deals, and he fires in a fastball for strike 1. So 2 balls and a strike. Dallas long look in, and he'll back off. Bailey, Coyne, and Laguerre. The scheduled 3 for El Dorado here in the home half of the 8th inning. 7-5 Derby. And again, a little mix-up, so Thibodeau is going to come out and they'll get straight on their signs. Well, when you got a guy that is such a fireballer like Dallas, you want to make sure you know what's coming. You don't want to be expecting curve in a gas ball. El Dorado is at Derby tomorrow night. And then back here Thursday to complete this 3-game series. Again, these teams playing here June 13th, 14th, and 15th, and then they'll play in 2 weeks again. And 2 of those 3 will be at Derby. The middle game will be here in El Dorado. 2 balls and a strike. And Bailey, a high chopper foul. Nice play by one of the Bronco guys in the dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, bodies down in the Derby bullpen, but no one throwing. Relievers like to sit around and chat, don't they? Curveball stayed upstairs, 3-2. Even Dallas's curveballs seem to be coming in with some mustard. A lot of times you can really tell the difference with the fastball and the curveball. Not so much with Dallas. Here's a 3-2 pitch. And Bailey spoils it, fouls it off. So it remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dallas with his glove in front of his face. Now he winds and deals. And a swing and a miss, and Bailey is retired for the first time tonight. 4th strikeout for Dallas. All 4 outs have been recorded by strikeout. So 1 away, and we go to the top of the order. Jarrett Coyne. And this one bounces in for ball 1. Jarrett Coyne singled and scored in the first, struck out in the second, struck out in the fourth, and hit into a fielder's choice in the 6th inning. Here's the 1-0. That's high, ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes. John Laguerre waits on deck. Here's the 2-0, and a mighty hack by Coyne. Fouled off the netting and came right back to Thibodeau. Scanning Twitter right now, seeing if there's any scores or anything being posted. Coyne hits one in the hole. It's cut off by the third baseman. Means quick throw over to first. And that retires Jarrett Coyne. So here comes John Laguerre. The Liberal BJs. Liberal is at Hayesville tonight, and Liberal leads 18-1. Liberal 18, Hayesville 1 in the 8th inning. 2 away for Laguerre, and that one in the turf for ball 1. So a lot of offense by Liberal tonight in Hayesville. One-0 pitch, and that one just missed. 2-0. comes the 2-0 to Laguerre, and that one fisted out into right field and coming in, and Zimmerman dives, can't make the catch. Laguerre aggressively around first to second and safe. That's just great hustle by John Laguerre in trouble. So the Broncos, again for the 8th inning tonight, have a runner on base. And Kyle Barfield, a chance to drive in a run. Barfield, the number 3 hitter in the lineup. And Barfield tonight is 1 for 4. And he'll look at ball 1. Laguerre from Purdue University at second. Barfield from Kansas State at the plate. Tying run at the dish for the Broncos here in the 8th inning. Good lead for Laguerre. And Barfield is behind that fastball, strike 1. Barfield an RBI double in the 1st inning. Things look good early on for El Dorado, scoring 1 in the 1st and 2 in the 2nd to lead 3-0. And 7 in a row by Derby. El Dorado's chipped away to 7-5. This one in the turf, Thibodeau again. He's just been a wall back there for his pitching staff. Kyle Barfield came into tonight's play batting .310. And the pitch, that's high, and a nice job by Thibodeau. Boy, he's been blocking him in the turf. That time he had to really come out of his stance to get that one. 3 balls and a strike. Aaron Mack waiting on deck. Myers creeping in around second. Now the pitcher goes from the windup, but not running is Laguerre. Oh, yeah. Dallas forgot about the runner at second. He went from the windup. I'm surprised Laguerre didn't take off. Barfield looks at ball 4. Longtime coach Bill Shaw coming out to visit with Matthew Dallas. So again, the Broncos with multiple runners on. The only inning they didn't have multiple runners on, I guess, although officially they did, in the 4th inning, Donnell flew out, then Bailey homered. Coyne struck out, Laguerre walked. So actually they did have 2 runners on base, although Bailey touched all 4. So runners at first and second here in the 8th with 2 away. Matthew Dallas, in his 2nd inning of work, he's recorded 4 strikeouts. He's walked 2 and given up 2 hits, but no runs, which is the big number. So here's Aaron Mack. 1 for 2 officially. He's been hit by pitch twice tonight. And the pitch to Mack outside, ball 1. Aaron Mack came into play tonight with a .261 batting average and 2 home runs, leads the El Dorado squad. He's been hit by pitch 7 times now this season, including the 2 tonight. 5 coming in. Looks at strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Another competitive game here at McDonald Stadium. The 3 games with Hayesville here last weekend were all competitive for sure. El Dorado won 2 out of those 3. Mack looks at the outside pitch. 2 balls and a strike. So a little drama building here in the 8th inning. 7-5 Derby. 2 away here in the 8th inning. Laguerre at second, Barfield at first. And that pitch dives down low, ball 3. Well, Aaron Mack, you would think, would get something pretty to hit here. Three balls and a strike. And the pitch. Mack drills it out to right field, going back to the wall. Gone! Aaron Mack, a 3-run home run. And El Dorado takes an 8-7 lead. Aaron Mack, a 3-run home run. Bill Shaw is ready to come out and probably get his pitcher out of there. Zimmerman gave it a look, but that was a no-doubter for Aaron Mack. So the first 2 batters retired. Laguerre with a hustling double. Barfield walked. And Aaron Mack homers. And El Dorado leads 8-7. We've got a pitching change in El Dorado. Broncos lead by 1. We're back with more in a moment here on YouTube. So bottom of the 8th inning here, the Broncos now lead 8-7 after Aaron Mack's 3-run home run off of Matthew Dallas. Kyle Britt, the new pitcher for Derby, and he deals with Colton Schenker for the Broncos. And quickly, Britt ahead 0-2. Kyle Britt from Paris, Texas, goes to East Central, Oklahoma. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. That one's low, ball 1. Dallas fell behind 3-1 to Mack, and Mack knocked out his 3rd home run of the season. None bigger than that one. 1-2. And that one on the corner for strike 3. So Britt puts out the fire, but the damage is done. El Dorado scores 3 times on 2 hits. No errors, nobody left. We'll head to the 9th. El Dorado 8, Derby 7. Back in a moment here on YouTube. So the El Dorado Broncos, 3 outs away from getting the record to even in Jayhawk play and pulling within a half game of the Derby Twins. Tyler Myers will lead it off against Garrett Glass. And the first pitch in there for strike one. The Broncos are in search of their first save of the season. They have 2 blown saves. Glass has a chance to get the first save for the Broncos. 0-1 to Myers. And this one's ground to Coyne. It's off his chest. Coyne recovers, but no chance. And a leadoff error. Myers hit it hard, but right at Coyne, he couldn't glove it cleanly. And a pinch hitter coming up for the Twins, Alex Bibb. Bibb will hit for Zimmerman. And immediately went to the coach. Derby in that 5th inning, well, really, they've had 4 bunts tonight, which have been beautiful. Coyne playing back, I'm surprised. Bibb squares around, and a tie for ball 1. Glass in his 5th appearance, he has an ERA of 4.2. 10 2/3 of innings work, he's given up 10 hits. This pitch outside, what a catch by Donnell. So 2-0 to Bibb. Bibb goes to Kentucky from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. If the Broncos can close this out here in the 9th, Taylor Woods would get the win with his 1 inning of clean work in the top of the 8th inning. Over at first is Myers. And the pitch, and an attempt, a missed attempt by Bibb, strike 1. Coyne still plays back. I know it's scary moving in, but boy, Bibb has squared around 3 times. Bibb squares the pitch, and he attempted, and he couldn't put the bat on it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. Myers over at first. Glass has a sign and time called. Glass will look over at first. And now the pitch to Bibb. And that one in there, a strikeout looking. And 1 away. And here comes Jacob Means. Means 2 for 3 tonight with a walk. He singled in the 2nd, popped out to the pitcher in the 3rd, doubled in a run in the 4th, walked in the 7th. And the pitch from Glass, and that one's in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike. 8-7 Derby, top of the 9th, 8-7 El Dorado, top of the 9th inning. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2. It was that second game of the Hayesville series, you might remember. Hayesville was up 3-0 in the 8th, and El Dorado tied it with 3-8 and won it in the 11th. Tonight, 3 runs in the 8th inning gives the Broncos a 1-run lead. Pitch by Glass, a check swing, and he did check. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Davis Elliott waits on deck. One ball, 2 strikes to Jacob Means, the third baseman. And the 1-2, and just missed. Donnell held it there. Glass with a bit of a smile inside to the catcher. Umpire tells the Bronco dugout to quit chirping. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Glass has his sign. And the pitch. Oh, that one got away from Donnell. So, pass ball moves the tying run into scoring position. Hope you're enjoying our broadcast tonight here on YouTube. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jacob Means. 1 away in the 9th. Broncos lead by a lone run. And the pitch from Glass. And strike 3 looking. So after a leadoff error, back-to-back strikeouts. And the last chance for Derby is Davis Elliott. Elliott 0 for 4 tonight, reached on a fielder's choice and stole a base in the 2nd inning. Grounded out to short, popped out to catcher, and flew out to center field. Elliott coming into play tonight with a .357 batting average. The pitch from Glass, that's in there, strike 1. 8-7 El Dorado here in the top of the 9th. Good lead off a second for Myers. And the pitch by Elliott. A little bit low, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. El Dorado with 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and the 3 runs, thanks to the 3-run homer by Aaron Mack in the 8th inning. Derby with 2 in the 3rd, 5 in the 4th. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss to his knees was Elliott on that swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That was straight gas. Challenge fastball, 1 there by the pitcher, Garrett Glass. Garrett Glass from Inola, Oklahoma. Goes to school here in El Dorado at Butler County. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Glass looking for the first Broncos save of the season. Donnell sets up on the outer third. The pitch tapped towards short. Bailey's got it on a hop over the first, and the Broncos win. Come from behind win tonight for El Dorado. 8-7. El Dorado wins here tonight. The Broncos tonight with the 3-run homer from Aaron Mack in the bottom of the 8th inning. After the first 2 Broncos were retired, a double, a walk, and the 3-run bomb. Boy, what a job by El Dorado tonight to get the win. I'm trying to figure out the hits here for El Dorado. They had 8 runs on 8 hits. Derby scores 7 runs on 10 hits. The winning pitcher is Taylor Woods. The losing pitcher, Matthew Dowens. And the first save of the season, Garrett Glass for the Broncos. Time of tonight's game, 2 hours and 43 minutes. El Dorado moves to 5-5 in Jayhawk play. Derby falls to 5-4. Same 2 teams tomorrow night at Derby. 7 o'clock game. They will have audio of the game I'm sure if you go to the Derby Twins website, you can find that. And then we're back here to see Derby again Thursday night with the broadcast beginning at 7 o'clock. Derby and El Dorado. The Broncos wait 7. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Thank you for the emails. And until Thursday night, hope you have a great Wednesday. We'll talk to you Thursday. Kurt Caden bidding you good night from El Dorado.